Hello everyone, welcome back to the weekly Forex analysis. Let's get going and start off with the DXY. Last week we were expecting DXY to give us an indication if it will drop. We were at this level, we just broke in the trend line last week, and I was saying that if we get here a ranging price action, then the price will most likely drop. But as you can see, the price didn't give us a consolidation and it straight pushed back up to take out the previous stop, and it continued the momentum towards the upside. So now this trend line is invalidated and we have another one here, which it seems that the price keeps respecting. So at the moment, I'm expecting in the coming week the price to increase a bit more towards the upside, potentially taking out the previous stop, creating a new higher high. And if this happens, then the daily fair value gap level that we are at the moment will be neglected, and that means that the price will definitely head back up on the bigger time frame and resume the uptrend that started back in 2022. So after this stop will be taken out, if it will be taken out, I'm expecting a deeper pullback because we've broken out of this fair value gap. So this most likely will happen at some point. So I'm expecting a correction. I'm not suggesting you to buy it from here. If you want to trade it, wait for a bigger consolidation because this wave up is very strong, so it needs to correct. So at the moment, no setup for us. We'll have to wait for the price to push back up, take out the top, and then enter a consolidation phase. Or there's also a slim chance that it might push towards the supply and then drop, starting this consolidation phase from this current level that we are in before resuming the uptrend. For Euro USD, last week we were expecting the price to create a chalk here, then pull back before pushing back up towards the equilibrium area as highlighted on the screen, but we didn't get this correction. I was expecting a consolidation to occur for the previous leg down that we had. So now, as you can see, the price broke out the low again, creating a new lower low, and the way things are looking, we seem to be heading back down again. We had this small pullback here, and now next week, if the price will start consolidating, then most likely it will drop to take out the previous low, or at least to hit the demand area. Okay, so keep in mind these two options. If we don't get a correction here, then most likely the price will push back up. But if you see the price ranging, then we have a great chance to drop a bit more towards the demand, or even to take out the previous low. For Pound USD, similar scenario as Euro USD. Last week we were expecting the price to break out, create a chalk, pull back, and then I was expecting a confirmation towards the upside to create a consolidation for the previous leg down that we had. But as you can see, the price continued to drop, creating a succession of lower lows before finding some support at the daily trend line. So now, as you can see, the price started to give us an attempt to push back up, hit this local 4-hour trend line, and it started to drop from here. So similar to Euro USD, if we see here a sideways move, then most likely this will drop one more time towards the demand, or potentially to take out the previous low. Other than that, if you see the price breaking out and it doesn't give you a ranging price action below at this area, if you see a pullback, then potentially we'll be heading towards the upside to start this consolidation pattern that we expect for this whole leg down. As you can see, the momentum is fading away on the MACD, so at some point we'll have to engage into a consolidation before dropping again if the trend wants to drop. Okay, so keep in mind this possibility. For dollar yen, last week we were expecting the price to break out of the trend line and give us a ranging price action, and if that happened, then we would have expected the price to correct towards this fair value gap level and also towards the trend line. So as you can see, the price bounced back up, it didn't create a consolidation, and it started to push back up immediately after it broke out. So the way things are looking, I'm expecting the price in the coming week to potentially head back up to take out the top, collecting all the liquidity. Or if you see the price starting to range, not having bullish momentum, then this will most likely drop towards the trend line, and then we'll see if this will consolidate even more or if it will pull back up from the trend line. Okay, so these two options are very important. Also very important as well to watch the price action. If it's ranging here, then most likely this will drop. If not, if it's slow and steady building a momentum towards the upside, we will get a liquidity sweep above and then potentially head into a consolidation. But for now the trend is bullish, so personally if I would trade this one, I will wait for the price to either break the top, consolidate, and then look for my buy setup, or to go back down from here, creating this pullback from the current levels, and then I'm going to be looking for my buy setup. So in either case, I'll be waiting for a pullback before going into the buys. For Usdcad, we are expecting last week the price to consolidate either from the current level to drop one more time, either from this level highlighted here to drop one more time, take out this low before resuming the uptrend, or the second scenario was the price to break this top and then fall into a pullback before again pushing back up. But as you can see, that wasn't the case. The price moved towards the upside, and the way things are looking, we have here a new trend line, so the price can start pushing down towards the trend line, bouncing back up again, and so on until at some point it can create create a bigger degree correction for this previous leg up that we have. So I won't be surprised if at some point the price will either break through and then resume the uptrend, or it will continue to move and collect liquidity from the trend line before dropping into a consolidation phase and resuming the uptrend. Pound yen, last week we're expecting the price to continue the bullish momentum and then start a consolidation, and as you can see, our analysis was correct. The price moved almost 400 pips towards the upside, and the way things are looking right now, two options similar to dollar yen. If the price action is correcting, is moving in a range, then it will drop one more time, or if not, this could slowly build up momentum towards the upside to collect the liquidity from this previous leg up, and this pullback to be the trigger for that move. So keep in mind these two options. Gold, last week we're expecting the price to consolidate and resume the uptrend. We only got a small consolidation before the price started to resume the uptrend, broke the top, collected the liquidity, and then as you can see, it started to push back down, created a chalk, and now it's moving inside this range. So very important here, we are at a critical level. If the price will respect this supply area highlighted, then it will drop one more time, but for that we need a bearish reaction followed by a consolidation, and if that's the case, then the price will continue to drop, taking out this low and create this bigger degree correction. Or if we don't get a reaction, then the price will push back up, creating a new all-time high, sweeping the liquidity yet again and continuing the uptrend. So don't forget that overall we are in an uptrend. Personally, I would wait for this consolidation to finish. I won't be trading it, and I won't be too upset if the price will go back up from here, because at some point this will have to pull back, and then I'm gonna be looking for my buy setups. Okay, so no need to rush things up. If the price will start to push back up without giving you a consolidation, don't worry, you didn't miss anything. It's only a small portion. At some point this big consolidation will come. You can see we had one here, so I'm expecting a similar scenario as well for this next correction. So very important to watch this pullback to occur, then let it develop, and afterwards when we'll get at a certain level, we'll be looking for our buy setups. For silver, last week we're expecting the price to continue the bullish momentum, but first we wanted to see a pullback and then continuation, and as you can see, we got the pullback a bit above, but it was a small one compared to what we expected. Then the price started to push back up, and only then the price went in our direction and this pullback has started. So as you can see right now, we got this chalk and the price is starting to correct, to mess about a bit here. So there's a potential that the price might drop even after it will increase a bit to create a new lower low, or it could drop from the current levels because you also need a crossover on the MACD before pushing back up. Overall, as well as gold, silver is bullish, so I'm expecting the price to finish this consolidation at some point, either from this level to push back down before resuming the uptrend, either to go a bit towards the upside, pulling back and then starting the next wave up. For oil, last week our analysis was spot on. We were expecting the price to bounce from this fair value gap, create a chalk, consolidate, and then push back up, and as you can see, the price moved 400 pips from our previous analysis, and in the coming week I'm expecting the price to slow and steady push towards the upside. You see we had this chalk, then the price created this consolidation, went back down to collect the liquidity from this previous correction, and then started to push back up. I'm expecting a small consolidation and continuation towards the upside, targeting a new higher high. For DAX, the price is in a strong uptrend. We had this leg up with this consolidation and then another push towards the upside. You can see by this bullish trend line that we are in an uptrend, and the way things are looking, we got a previous liquidity sweep above. The price started to push back down, created this chalk, and now we are at the bottom of the trend line, and the price is starting to move towards the upside, respecting the trend line. So here we have two options. I'm expecting at some point the price to consolidate, to push back down one more time, because we have some liquidity left behind, as you can see by these two levels. So personally, I'll be focusing on the upside, but if the price will break out of the trend line, there's a strong chance that we might hit these two levels first before resuming the uptrend from one of these two levels. So I'm gonna be patiently waiting for the price to correct towards these areas, and at each level I'm gonna be looking for a bullish reaction. If I don't get that reaction, I won't be interested in any setups, because then the price could continue to push back down and create a deeper pullback, because like I was saying, this needs to correct, so we don't want to get surprised and be on the wrong side of the market. So for me, I won't buy it from the current levels because I don't see any setup setup, and also I won't sell it because I would like to see the price dropping to one of these two levels, and from here I'm going to be waiting for my reaction, my bullish reaction from any one of them, and if I see a setup I'm going to be looking for the upside. For NASDAQ, last week we were expecting the price to break the top again, create a new higher high, and as you can see, our analysis was spot on. I was expecting first the price to slow and steady push back up, having the potential to take out this top, but I was also stating the fact that this could become a consolidation that will go a bit deeper towards the trend line, most likely before resuming the uptrend. And as you can see, the market moved 500 pips towards the downside, 600 pips towards the upside, so that's more than 1000 pips. And in the coming week, I'm expecting the price to make a consolidation and then push back up, continuing the momentum. For Bitcoin, last week we were expecting the price to consolidate. I think we were somewhere in this area, and I was saying that the price will push up after a small correction, potentially reaching the 70k target, but at the same time I was saying that the price might correct a bit deeper before reaching the 70k level, and this is perfect what's happening here right now, because this is a good area to buy it, better than the one that we had, because previously we had only a small consolidation, now we have a bigger degree one. So this is more encouraging because that means that the price won't come back down to hunt your stop loss. So I'm expecting the price to bounce back up from these levels, or if it gets a bit complicated, I can see it dropping a bit more before resuming the uptrend and hit the 70k psychological level. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis. I would deeply appreciate if you guys hit that like button and also share the video with your friends. And if you have any other requests for any other pairs that you'd like us to cover, head over in the comment section below, leave us your pair and we'll add it to our watch list. In the meantime, don't forget to trade with care. I wish you guys a happy trading week ahead and happy Halloween.